one's obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
It's Friday, my dudes.
Good morning, TFR.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To the show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworx with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
Wake up! Wake up!
Thank God it's Friday.
TGIF, everybody. And Fiat Lux, Grand Rising. And if you're morning, then good morning to you. It is the Ironworx right here at Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. Josh, Walt, and Zack hanging out with you this morning, doing our Friday thing. How you fellas doing?
Cool. Digging it. We're here. It's Friday. Waking up.
I don't know what is going on. If there's something going on with the electric field or the magnet, I don't know what, but I have energy. I don't know what to do with all of it.
Yeah, I was tearing my house apart yesterday, cleaning up stuff.
Tammy made me come inside finally. I just saw something out in the yard. I was like, oh, I'm going to go take care of that right now. I was cleaning out the shed. I had like 500 feet of hose and a few hundred feet of electrical cord to run the pumps and stuff down from the river. And I just got a hair up my butt to get it all out of the yard. I didn't like the way it looked. And I did it in like 2 minutes, rolled all those up. And I've been focusing on my breathing lately. Have you guys seen the movie Remo Williams, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the little Asian guy, I call him Asian because I forget, and he gets offended when you get his ethnicity wrong. Is he Korean, I think?
I believe that's right. It's been so long since I've seen The Adventures of
Remo
Williams.
One I got to watch. Yeah, for sure. I got to go back and watch that one. But yeah, the first thing he teaches the guy is how to breathe. Because he says, we all breathe like baboons. It's pretty much what he says, I think. But he is so right. I was focusing on my breathing. When I got done doing all that, and I did it quick too. I was like almost like a workout, kind of. And it didn't even feel like I did anything. Just constantly deep inhales and deep exhales and not really focusing so much on what my arms are doing. That was just mindless manual labor, winding up hoses and cords. But focusing on your breathing, it was so weird. It felt like I did nothing. My muscles, it felt like I didn't even use them. And I was just sucking in all that electricity out of the air. But I've noticed that before, whenever I start doing manual labor, like going up a hill or something, because we have a pretty steep hill in the back, when I'm walking up, I'll like stop breathing. I don't know if any of you guys have ever done this, but like playing a sport or something like that, or doing something, when you're exerting yourself, I'll like hold my breath for some reason. The exhale, I'll like hold in and inhale. And that is like the worst thing you can do. You're cutting off yourself from that energy. And if you keep that flow going really good and strong, I didn't get tired. I can't believe it took me over 40 freaking years to learn how to breathe.
Well, I think the holding your breath is normal. I think we're not taught to release it. Not to get too woo-woo or martial arty, but, you know, that's that chi energy. You got to build it up a little bit and then release it. That's why, you know, you can hold it and force it, but then you got to get that real loud yeah at the end, because that's the release for that flow.
You have to force that energy that into your bloodstream, because all that happens on the exhale. So on that exhale, you got to really get it out and long draw that exhale. And man, the energy you get, like I still have it. It's crazy. I was doing it last night too, just focusing on breathing. And it's amazing how you feel when you do that, when you get enough, whatever it is we're pulling out of the air, call it oxygen, call it whatever you want. When your body gets enough of it, it runs so much more efficiently. It's amazing. What about you, Walter? You do any breathing exercises ever?
Huh? What? Huh?
What was it?
As I was sucking in most of the like walls in my house right at the end of that first yawn of the day. Yeah, not first one, but yeah. I definitely have played around with breath work over the years. Some of it, and like consciously, when I was working through the gateway stuff from the Monroe Institute, the hemisync technology, there was a lot of very purposeful breathing techniques involved in that process, which taps into a lot of your chakra centers. And so that was probably, I guess that was around 95-ish, 97-ish, something like that, maybe even 98-ish when I started messing with that. But prior to that, I had messed with just practiced or conscious breathing, like through like yoga or through meditation techniques that I had read up on, and had gotten, you know, probably some interesting effects that could or could not be attributed to just increasing blood into the body and oxygen. You know, actually, now that I'm saying that, wow, whoa, I completely blocked this off. As a teenager, as a teenager, a friend of mine discovered that if he breathed almost in a very hyperventilating way, that it would increase his oxygen and his euphoric feeling, and he would literally, like, that was his kind of like his thing would be to just super hyperventilate his breath, like not in that preparation for anything, even like, you know, he would do it definitely. He would like to go out and play ball or whatever, but he would just do it sitting around the room, you know. And I finally was one day going, let me see what this is all about, dude. I almost like fell out on the floor. And yeah, it's pretty crazy what you can do with your breath work. And that being said, there was an album out there that in its makeup had a lot of layering to sounds and voices, and the band touted themselves as a very spiritual, existential, next level band with a lot of spiritual leanings, lyrics, music. And in this certain song at the beginning of that album, it would tell you in this very subliminal, barely perceptible voice to allow yourself to relax into the rhythm of the song and relax into breathing with the rhythm of the song. The song tells you to do this. And so I began to do it. Now, I picked the rhythm of the rhythm that I breathed to in that song. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I was doing a 4/4 time or anything like that. I found a rhythm to breathe to within their music. And I was starting to feel interesting. And then in the living room, you could see through the bedroom door out into the living room. I began to notice what I thought were lights flashing around in there, like weird, dark yellow lights. And all I could think was the garbage trucks were coming at 2 or 3 in the morning. And their little yellow flashy light was shining through the tinfoil on my windows. I worked at a casino where I was sleeping days and working nights, so I slept with tinfoil on my windows. And that's all I could think. There was light coming through those little tiny holes, flashing. But then it hit me that it's not really what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is more this coalesced darkness moving through the ambient light of the living room. It's actually what I realized I'm seeing. And at that point, this dark figure stood up right about where my shoulder and head area would be next to the bed. Oh, God, here come the chill bumps. And as that figure stood up, I knew it was not there for any good purpose. In fact, it was there for very nefarious purposes. And I began to put up all those energy attempts to block that thing off that I've shared with you 100 times here, guys, on the show with the fighting off the monsters thing. And so I began to do those things really quickly. Put up my green shield and drive that thing away. And I turned over and wrapped that around my wife at the time, who's now my ex-wife, and just put that up and hunkered down into that shield. And finally went to sleep protecting her with that going on. So yeah, be careful with your breath work. It's definitely a powerful thing.
Yeah, have you guys ever been over to the Troubling Tribune channel?
Oh yeah, once or twice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I really enjoy his live streams. I really enjoy the way that he does his question. He kind of reminds me of you, Josh. Questions he asks, how he does it. Yeah, he was asking about the other night about like supernatural beings, you know. Do they exist? He was talking about either ghosts or whatever, you know, just did anybody have a story out there, something that happened to them? And I called and I told him about that shadow person I had seen in my cousin's closet. And when I mentioned the top hat, he freaked out. I guess, Mind Shock, I think, did a really long video, like 4 or 5 hours, something like that, on shadow people and the top hat that a lot of people say they've seen. And I never even had heard about this. When he said it, when he told me about it, it sent chills up my spine. But yeah, I went over on his show the other night, and then Austin jumped on because it was late. He's one of those late owls, like him and Whitsitt, and well, Jaren's out on the West Coast, so it's understandable. But yeah, these guys, they stay up so late. These young guys, I don't know how they do it. I'm an early bird.
Because youth is wasted on the young.
Oh yeah, Notch was over there too. Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoy Trouble and Tribune. He's only got like 700 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, go subscribe to Trouble and Tribune. He's over there, part of the Melodome crew. And he has
Drop
some
that
really
link for us real quick, because I'm multitasking here. I just went to a channel that Natriketa had dropped there to share with us from 007's channel, where he was recently. So I've got that in my list, literally, in a tab waiting to be watched as soon as I can this weekend. Like maybe, not today, because I have another show to do and physical therapy to go to. So it'll probably be Saturday kind of thing.
I think that's a channel you've been unsubscribed from, Walter. I'm pretty sure you were subscribed to Richie already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was unsubscribed from Troubling Tribune.
You saw me. How'd you know I just resubscribed? Oh, I said it, yeah, because I was shocked that I wasn't actually. That sounded so familiar. And when I went over there and there was a, big subscribe button, I'm like, But yeah, you're right. And again, I am multitasking in an extreme way here, trying to find everything and get some stuff ready. Actually, I'm getting something ready to present here in just probably, well, hey, I tell you what, let's talk about it, and then we'll.
Before we move on to that,
do it.
I
later.
Something that popped into my brain earlier this week that would really apply to this conversation, and I just wanted to sneak this in here. I don't know a whole lot about this particular subject, but I was just been thinking about it because I keep hearing some silly ass commercials on the radio for like CPAP machines and CPAP alternatives and things like this. But I'm thinking about sleep apnea. Right, so when you're sleeping and basically you just stop breathing. And there's
a lot of people have it now too. A lot more.
Yeah, and apparently there's a whole lot of risks involved, secondarily, that come along with sleep apnea. And then this ties into sort of what you were talking about, Zach, with people holding their breath. And I know I especially tend to hold my breath when pain is introduced. And this is why I think Lamaze is so important in the birthing process. Because if you hold your breath, as your body has a tendency to do when you're experiencing pain, you will actually lessen that pain by simply breathing and not holding your breath. And it's strange that our bodies will hold our breath and increase the pain versus breathing through it and decreasing it, but that's neither here nor there. But it does tie into the sleep apnea because I'm wondering how much of a similarity is there. So what is sleep apnea exactly? Is it my brain like forgetting to breathe? That subconscious part just suddenly says, wait, what am I doing again? Or am I holding my breath in my sleep? Or is there something going on like physiologically that is causing my lungs to quit working? And that's what's like, I'm not sure about sleep apnea. But I was just curious about the correlation between everybody that tends to hold their breath and people that stop breathing in the middle of the night, and if there's any direct correlation.
Well, I've heard.
Well, I know.
Go ahead, Walt.
You go.
I was just going to say, I've heard that people who have sleep apnea, one way that they've been getting over it without, any type of machines or medication or anything like that, they tilt their bed about 5 degrees. And it does all kinds of stuff. It'll help your back. It helps your blood circulation. It just keeps your blood flowing in your body. All kinds of stuff. We're not meant to be laying down horizontal. Our body the blood in our body will start pooling up in places. And we're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to be, at least some part of your body should be upright a little bit. And when you do that, it changes everything. It really does. I've heard so many testimonies of people saying that they can now get through the night breathing the whole night, and their wife doesn't, oh my God, wake up, thinking that they're dead because they've done like a 40-second, where they stop breathing. It's crazy. So try it. I saw a couple people in chat saying, I have sleep apnea, this and that. Yeah, try it. Elevate your bed about 5 degrees. There's even calculators online that tell you, okay, your bed's this long, put this much under the head of your bed, raise it this much, so many inches. And at first you'll be sliding down. You'll get used to it. You will. At first you'll find out, all your sheets and everything are going to be sliding down the bed a little bit. You'll get used to it to where your body gets used to laying at an angle and kind of supporting itself. But yeah, I've heard some amazing testimonies of people. That's all they've done. It's just bloop. There's a little bit of a tilt, and they sleep like babies through the night after that.
I know John Savage was a huge proponent of a good old bed tilt.
That was when I looked into trying to do it, but it didn't.
Yeah, when you have a partner, it makes it difficult to get two people.
It didn't get past the muster there. Well, I know when I'm out and about at night, And by that, I mean when I'm in astral mode. And that can be various things. It can be either out of body, it can be actual projection, it can be encounters like the creature in, that's put in my bed. Or not to put in my bed, I'm just reading Allison's comment there. The creature there at the bed. A person, whatever the fuck it was. Definitely in... So in the soul journeys during bedtime, how about that? In that time, there is a practice of being aware of the silver thread. That is your attachment to your physical body. And at times, whenever the journey got arduous, many encounters, lots of battles, lots of exploring, trying to figure things out, which is a lot of what soul journeying is for me at night in that time. Questing, looking, trying to find secret things. There have been times when on the return trip, it's gone, it's lost. And I don't even know how that can happen. That's something I'm still grappling with. But I know in those times when I can't find my way back, I struggle physically, because that's usually when Michelle wakes me up. Or I wake myself up having finally, and it's almost like swimming up from a deep, deep place that you can't get out of, that you're trying to get back from. That's not accurate, but that's the closest physical sensation I can give you to it.
Unless you have sleep apnea, and that's how it transfers into your dream.
Well, that's not it, though, because this has been going on since I was a very young child with very healthy lungs. And as far as I know, I don't have any sleep apnea. I mean, I've had tests done way back when I was, my dad got some diagnosis of it, and I was dealing with a lot of stress and a lot of whatever, and so they did a few different tests, and had to wear a thing. I don't know, it's been too long ago, actually, now to remember what it was that I had. Did I have to wear a thing one night or something, maybe? I don't know, it's been a while. So that idea, though, is truly, I think, more the other side of it. I think the apnea comes from people who have no training and have no way of knowing and have no skill set that they've worked with their entire life. Those muscles are physically not there, but they are there, and they need to be exercised. And if they don't get exercised, then they definitely atrophy, and you have a hard time with anything like this. And I think when everything in our culture is doing everything it can to mess with the things that affect what happens when you sleep, sitting in front of a screen, constantly altering your theta wave, falling asleep in front of a television that's constantly implanting dream ideas, thought ideas of places and things that you can encounter, and all these different ideas going on at the same time, that our health system is screwed beyond belief. As you say, nobody's taught to breathe correctly. Nobody's eating correctly. People go to bed with a gut full of just horrible things going on chemically that can induce all kinds of things, both physical and actually, I mean, there are reasons that people take substances to take these journeys. And just because it doesn't have psychoactive chemicals in it doesn't mean it doesn't create DMT when it gets into your body and create a journey for you that you're not ready for, and then suddenly you're struggling to breathe. Now, don't get me wrong, people have trouble breathing because they're fucking overweight, and their sinuses are messed up, and their throat is messed up, and there's physical reasons for all these things. But I think there's a deeper spiritual thing that's going on in dream time and breathing that has a lot to do with this. I mean, dude, they bring us into the world with a frickin' slap and a cut. So from that point on, it's a fucking fight for your consciousness, a fight for your place in this world and how you interact with it physically, emotionally, spiritually, breathingly. I know that's not a word, but I think it's tied up in it more than just, I'm struggling to breathe. Now I'm having a dream about it. Now, these things, like I said, this has been going on my whole life. These journeys. When I was a young, healthy man.
I believe we're getting close.
Yeah, I think we are.
I saw I'm the in chat asked me if I remember my dreams, and the answer
did
is
see that.
Almost completely never. Although a couple nights ago I had a dream that I actually remembered because I woke up, mind you, hyperventilating. Yeah.
Interesting.
It was a weird, goofy, bad dream. It was just one of those things that was out of context. I don't know. There was a bunny. I was protecting it somehow, and I put it in the car, forgot about it, and left it in the car all day. Went back that evening and went in there, and it was dead. And
oh God,
yeah, fucked
that'd be
me up.
horrible.
Fucked me up real good. I woke up hyperventilating for about, I don't know, a couple minutes, and then I just sort of broke down and sobbed and went back to sleep. I woke Dixie up, but you know, such as a bad dream, but just strange that, again, we're talking about it, and I woke up just hyperventilating, like my brain needed extra oxygen.
Oh yeah, that's traumatic.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was.
For those of you that might not know, Josh really loves bunnies a lot. Like,
I do.
Yeah.
I also think I was processing trauma too from losing a Binks. Now that I can actually say her name, that is break music. But yeah, I do love the bunnies. So even dreaming about the death of one that I might have been even partially responsible for somehow broke me a little bit. But it's all good now. Sadly, that's the one dream I do remember. Stick around. We got the second half of the first half of the Ironworks coming up right after these messages on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com.
Do not settle for the average. Average is the grave in which excellence is buried. Average people strive to fit in, while excellent people strive to stand out. You can never change what you accept. You can never change what you refuse to confront. If you keep pretending that mediocrity is your best, then you will never proceed to excellence. You were not born to be an average person. This, therefore, is the challenge. We need to inspire people to not settle even when they seem to be successful. As a matter of fact, the greatest enemy of progress is your last success. When you settle on what you've done and believe you've achieved everything, you have just begun to die. Excellent people never settle for the average. Develop a deep commitment to excellence.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. By Christine, great for heart palpitations. By Anne, before I started using this product, every afternoon, my ankles and my hands would be swollen. That doesn't happen anymore. So if that part of their advertising is true, I have to assume that the rest of it is also. Not to mention that when I had my yearly blood test, only a few weeks after beginning to use this product, my cholesterol had dropped over 30 points. I'm going to continue to take it. By Croc, I love this product. It really works. By Brad, works great, thank you. Tell us your story. Get your Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
For millennia, mankind has been searching for answers to the big questions, such as, where did the universe come from? Where did we come from? Why are we here? Are we alone? And just what the heck is the Sasquatch all about? I can't promise you answers, and neither can the Woo Crew, but they invite you to join them Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, midnight in the UK, for Freaky Friday, exclusively on Truth Frequency Radio. Spirituality, multiverse, quantum mechanics, the occult, and so much conspiracy analysis that it will make your mind melt. Take my word for it. Freaky Friday. It's more than a show. It's a way of life. I am Stephen Hawking, and I am proud Tokyo-Wookie.
You're listening to the Truth Frequency Radio Network.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
I'm starting off fresh, and I feel good. I look good. I smells good. I am good.
Welcome back to the second half of the first half of the Ironworks, kicking off right now. That was quite the packed first segment there.
Yeah. I got energy for days right now, man. We came all in, I think, just fired up.
There's another aspect to this breath thing that's kind of popped up on my radar of late, and I've been intrigued about it, is these vibratory inhalers that allegedly remove layers of mucus from inside of your lungs, allowing you to breathe better and increase oxygen intake. It's allegedly being used by people that are in the military or people who are doing like super bodybuilding type things to do just crazy things with their bodies. It's, one of those things that I'm really hesitant to jump on because of how popular it suddenly has become, and how it's gotten just like every time I turn on my YouTube, almost there's a little video of somebody breathing up and, flexing up. It's pretty crazy. Now, I'm not ready to do any bodybuilding, but I definitely would like to, I know loosening and removing phlegm from inside of you is a great thing. And in our bodies being so full of parasites, a lot of phlegm is created. And those of us who, tend to like our cannabis inhaled as it is ignited, it also can cause a little bit of the lungoidal mucosic. That's the scientific name. And it just sounds like something I would be interested in. I used to actually have a lot of access to a lot of little respiratory therapy toys, if you will, growing up, because my mom was a therapist, as was my sister. So I had all kind of little like breathing testers and breathing exercise machines that basically taught you how to do deep breaths that are way past what most people do in their normal daytime thing. And then during that time period, there's this process called CPT, cardiopulmonary therapy. And basically what you do is you have the person you're applying this to lay down, and you figure out by listening with your ear or with a stethoscope the place in their lung that has the most, congestion, and you start like doing a drum roll, basically, very softly, but you're cupping those hands so that you're putting a wave of sound that goes through your lungs and loosens that stuff up. And a good CPT session can get pretty grody with what it can bring up. I haven't had someone give me one in a lot of years because just something that since I moved out and, hadn't been around home and mom passed on and all that. But yeah, the idea of these machines kind of doing that for you is intriguing. It's not a machine. It's a device that when you inhale it, there's these ball bearings in it that vibrate, causing basically what I'm talking about, to have to break up all that stuff in there. Yeah. So it's an idea that could work. It really could.
Well, on that topic, I worked 17 years in plastic mold injection factories. I breathed in a lot of nasty shit. If you don't know plastic, it comes from oil in the ground. The little plastic resin balls is a byproduct of processing oil into gasoline. And when, you make a bad part, whatever kind of plastic part it was, in my case, it was buckets. But, when they come out of the machines, you have a scrap. You have pieces that, when you start up the machine, you'll have sometimes a stack of like 100 of them. No joke. While the engineer's trying to get the mold running perfectly and yada, yada, yada. They're big machines with a lot of buttons and, you have to fine tune them and get them tuned in. So we had lots and lots of scrap. Well, we have a grinder there in the warehouse. Like it's tucked in the back, whatnot. Yeah, that's nice and all. There's little flaps that come down to try to stop all these little teeny tiny dust particles of plastic from getting out of this room. But if you're in that room, which I was quite a bit, long story short, I breathed in a lot of plastic dust. A lot. And there's, a couple ways you can get that out. Stuff like Walter's talking about, taking some kind of medication or some kind of device that helps break all that stuff up off of the walls of your lungs and then help that mucus get it out of you. Or I got this from John Savage, shout out, smoke real tobacco. 100% natural tobacco, no additives or chemicals, all that kind of stuff. Natural tobacco doesn't have the 100+ carcinogens that the tobacco companies themselves put into their products. Tobacco is not the evil, horrible plant that it's been demonized to be. When you smoke tobacco, real pure natural tobacco, it creates that phlegm, which then gathers all this stuff off the lining of your walls of your lungs. All those dust particles that your body cannot consume, it's not natural. It goes into your body, it shouldn't have. So it just kind of sits there in the walls of your lungs and then blocks up, your airways. Well, you have to get that out one way or another, or else that's going to turn into something real bad eventually. So I started smoking tobacco again. And I've noticed that while I'm smoking, I don't, it's not real easy to take big, deep inhales and exhales, but I have been coughing up. Every morning I have that thing. And yeah, I feel better smoking tobacco after a few years of smoking tobacco than I did before. I had quit for 8 years. I still had issues breathing. And I think it was because of all that crap packed into my lungs, that little particulates of dust, plastic dust, that only had one way to go out. It couldn't be absorbed into my bloodstream. I mean, maybe some of them could, but I'm sure some of them were too big. So I have to get it out the other way. And I'm not big on medication, so I went all natural. All natural, 100% tobacco. This year, Ted's growing some, and we're going to have our own shredded, homemade tobacco. I'm excited for that. So I know a lot of people demonize tobacco, but it actually is a medicine when used properly. I mean, steroids is a medicine. Used improperly, yeah, it can do bad things to your body. But tobacco, just like everything else, can be used as a medicine. All in quantity, though. You have to do it. You can't smoke 4 packs a day and expect that not to have an effect on your body. Or maybe 10 cigarettes, something like that a day. That's about what I do. I do about 10. Except on Friday, double show day, because I smoke more when I'm doing shows.
Yeah. Weekends are harder for me, too. Monday through Friday, it's okay. I only have to not smoke a couple times a day during my breaks. The rest of the time, I'm, inside working. So it's a lot easier to make that conscious decision to not smoke on my break. Because I've only got to do it twice. When I'm at home,
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. I was.
Well, I just find myself, as age gets on me and my lungs get a little more like, hey guy, what are you doing to me? I do make a very conscious effort to postpone that first inhalation there of the day because, number one, the first of the day is always a better one. And then, as that whole idea of just more time to access it and more smoke pounded down in there. Yeah, definitely on the weekends, I do my best to have a project to complete before I take a break and sit down. And yeah, it's definitely a struggle for me as well on that weekend thing. Cause man, I'll wake up some Sunday mornings and just be like hacking up some pretty ugly stuff.
Shout out to Liz for the
Yeah,
super
I had
chat.
those days too, for sure. When Cammy's brother was out, I had a drink one night with him, a couple drinks. And I must have been smoking like a chimney because I woke up and my throat was just like, I think we were also singing. When I get, he's a singer, I'm a drunk singer, I guess. And I had my guitar out and it's crazy. Cammy's brother, he's older than she is. But he like she quit listening to music in the 90s when she started really working. But while he was working, still listened. So it was like Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots, Soundgarden. We were just going through all these old songs I had heard in forever. But yeah, my voice definitely, I smoked a lot more, I think. And yeah, you can tell when you overdo it. So changing the subject from breathing real quick. I found an awesome little restaurant. We went to go rock hunting last Friday, and the water pump seized up on the car. And we were about an hour away from the house, up in North Carolina. And we were in this little tiny, beautiful little town called Maiden. I'm sorry, excuse me. Maiden, like Liz the Iron Maiden. Exact same spelling, Maiden. And there's this little restaurant called the Hub Restaurant. And that's where our car actually pulled. That's the parking lot I pulled into when the car did its thing. So when we went to go pick up the car, we went to go pick up the car, right? And we stopped there for lunch, Cammy and I. And we went in and we had lunch. It's a little tiny diner, all family owned. The whole family works there. Mom, grandma, the two daughters. There was children running around. It was awesome. Just a beautiful environment to be in. And I got to tell you about the food. She said it was a 6-ounce pulled pork sandwich that Cammy got. And I got like a 8-ounce or something like that. Well, Cammy's was like a pound. And mine was like a 1.5 pounds of just meat. I mean, the meat in this sandwich was like 3 inches tall. No joke. On my sandwich. Comes with a fork and a knife. You can't eat it as a sandwich. We had drinks and then these things called corn nuggets, which I'd never heard of. It's cream corn, deep fried. Oh my goodness, it should be illegal. They're so good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. It's the only way I like that cream corn with that little bit of sweetness is in those deep fried nuggets like that. Well,
I'd never even heard of it. So good.
Cornbread. I like to add a little bit of cream corn to my cornbread recipe too. But that's just me.
The price when we went to go leave was $15.
All right, where's this?
Yes,
we have a Hub City diner here. Whoa, I heard a voice.
I saw some hearts.
What's up? I heard $15. Where is that?
Dude, this is Maiden, North Carolina, and that was for 2 people to eat. And get this, the grandmother was out talking to a couple of patrons. They were elders, probably in their 70s, just in there. She comes up, she's like, and Cammy hears, "Earth is flat." She's like, "Did you hear that? She just said the earth is flat." And I looked over and she's like, "Yep, I'm not joking. The earth is flat." I was like, no way.
Dude, why don't you just move in with that grandma?
I know. It was so cool. But if you're in North Carolina around Maiden and you want some good home-cooked food, go check out the place called The Hub Restaurant. It is amazing. And
how
it's,
far is it off 95?
I'm not sure. We were off 231. We were about maybe a half hour off I-85.
Okay.
Yeah, right by Charlotte, where it starts splitting up around there. Like just south of Charlotte. It splits 85 and it goes up north from 85 right there.
What was the name of the restaurant?
The Hub.
Hub. I'm gonna look that up.
Little, small. Yeah. Oh, the prices. I could not believe it, man. Like, I thought it was going to be like $30 at least. And then when she said 15 something, I gave her a 20 and I was like, honey, keep it. And we had already given a nice tip and everything. We love those types of, you know, mom and pop family run, children running around, you know, grandma cooking in the back, coming out to tell customers the earth is flat. When that happened, I was like, oh, we're coming back here again.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
That'd be a
Well, we
good
actually have a
to
place
meet up.
called the Hub City Restaurant here in town, which is pretty awesome and kind of cheap and has some really good home cooked stuff. So that's kind of crazy. You found one called the Hub. Go ahead, Jonathan.
No, I was just saying that'd be a great place to have a flat Earth meetup group.
Absolutely. I'm sure she would welcome that. Absolutely. She would love the extra people showing up, I'm sure. Yeah. How are you, Jonathan?
Phenomenal. I mean, I don't even know where to begin.
I do believe you should start at the very beginning because it's a very good place to start. When you read, you begin with ABC, but when you sing, you begin with Do, Re, Mi.
There you go.
I could do this all fucking day. Somebody better jump in.
So how was the week, Jonathan?
It was good. It was well, it was bizarre. It was a lot of, you know, as always, my life is bizarre. So it's a strange world in my world. Yeah, no, it was a good week. It was a really good week. I got a new office here in Homedale. I think I told you guys, right?
I believe you'd mentioned
some.
No expounding on.
Yeah, no, that place at Bellworks. I wound up getting an office there because it was just too good of a deal for $400. I got a private desk with a locking tower, you know, and all this other stuff. And it comes with like for this $400 a month. You get a PO box, gourmet. They have a gourmet coffee station and you know, kitchen area and free seltzer and all that. So I mean, I was drinking $10 of coffee a day anyway. But you got like a print service with color laser printers. You got a PO box. You got unlimited Wi-Fi. You know, 24/7 access to you know, the building and the office space because usually the building closes at midnight, but you could stay late. And then like last night, they were having ballet in the building. You know, so there was a ballet theater group going on. I got to enjoy that from 5:30 till you know 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and there's gourmet restaurants and, you know, Pilates studios, yoga studios, barber shop, you know, you name it, they have a basketball court indoors. I mean, you never have to leave. It's like a microcosm of New York City and tons of people to communicate and network with, and really big companies are holed up in there, like $1 billion companies. And, you know, so it's just like, and then you can go outside, you can go relax. I mean, I got conference rooms, you know, for that $400 a month. I got private, you know, glass enclosed conference rooms and quiet rooms and all that. And it makes no, you know, it was a no-brainer to get it to do work. And as far as work goes, I'm completing all my projects there, getting ready to do talk radio again. You know, a whole bunch of stuff, you know, finishing out my books. You know, you have the space to just do what you need to do, really. So, I've been excited about it. But then this week, it was just a weird week. Like God's been working overtime in my life. I yielded everything over to God in a way that I've been like so not, you know, I used to be reluctant, right? There was something always holding back. And then as soon as I just said, you know, take over, it was that whole, like, you know, how like God is my co-pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. I just said, fuck it, take the wheel here.
Peace beyond understanding.
Huh?
I said peace beyond understanding.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's really corny. It's corny in a way that, like, when people talk about it and you hear people that are like have that fervor or whatever, that you know, excitement, right? They're moved by the Spirit. From an outside observer point of view, it's like, yeah, okay, like you don't believe it, right? Or it's like Zack, you know, just talking about that place, and it's like, oh, come on, like, you know, are you talking it up too good? When something's too good to be true, it usually is. But when you're living it and you're seeing it happen, then you're like, holy crap! Like it's beyond all measures, right? It really exceeds your own understanding at that point.
It hits you. It dawns on you right then and there that wow, these things actually do exist. It's not only in fairy tales and movie and rom-coms, you know.
Well, imagine like, so this place that you found is like an exception. And the way you described it was beautiful. And the way, the old woman, and she believes in flat earth, right? And you get the best food. And at the end, you get this price that's like, 1950s type prices or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no, that doesn't exist. Like, imagine if the whole world was like that because everybody wasn't a greedy fuck, low level sellout, like this was the norm, not the exception. And like, so maybe that would be like heaven, right? Like the old Pleasantville, like, or something like that. So like, that's the kind of thing, like when you give over to God, it's like, it's like that song from the Rolling Stones. You can't always get what you want, but you get what you need, because most people don't know what they want, right? It's like, they think they know what they want. And then, they get buyer's remorse for the deal that they make with themselves. They put it out to the universe and then they get it and they're not happy, right? You wonder why so many fucking people aren't happy with marriage, right? Oh, I loved her and then she was great, or he was great, and this and that, or I bought a car and it was great and then I got it off the lot and a week later I had buyer's remorse. Like, there's so many unsatisfied people. And then it's like, when you're not looking, when you least expect it, right? Like you had no expectations going in there except to get a meal, I'm sure, right? And maybe, I don't know if you read a review or whatever like that, but it blew your mind right at the end of it all. You were just like, holy crap.
Well,
So,
yeah,
like,
because we didn't even plan on, it wasn't like we were just looking for a place to eat. Our car had broken down there. It was like, it's 56 miles from the house. We were going to a rock quarry to go crystal hunting.
Okay.
And it broke down on the way, like an hour from the house. So we just went to go pick the car up, and that's the restaurant where the car had broken down. I pulled into that restaurant and got the tow truck and all that, and then Ted came and picked us up, and we just went home, And when we went to go get the car fixed, we decided,
perfectly
let's
that
stop there. We'll stop there and have lunch and just see what it's like. And boom, just amazing.
And to top it off, if you want to say the cherry on top, was just happening to be there and overhearing her say the earth is flat at that exact moment that she said it, right? She was in the kitchen otherwise.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's the way I'm saying, like, that God works. When they say God works in mysterious ways, like, because here's an example, right? So I got invited to this meetup group on Wednesday. I didn't know it was a meetup group, right? This girl invited me up, and I'd met her at a farmer's market, and and we didn't have a date or anything like that. She just reached out to me out of the blue, and she says, I know you're really spiritual, and you might enjoy this. And it was about prayer, right? Now, it wasn't a Christian group, like a prayer group. It was people talking about prayer. And I didn't know that. I didn't know what it was going in. But it was at a tap house, a really good restaurant. It was a little too expensive for my taste, but I said to the guy, I said, so we're going to talk about the spirits, why we imbibe the spirits while hanging out with the spirits. Spirits like hang around bars for good reason. In any case, while we were there, now listen, I don't go and hang out at those places. I don't do meetup groups, and I don't consider people my friends until I break bread with them. And I wasn't about to break bread with these people, because when I got there, the vibe, like, these were all low vibing people. They had no energy signature on them. And as far as like any kind of sense of reverence or piety, and sure enough, when we got to talking, everybody went around the table. The guy who was leading it was like, state your name, where you're from, what your belief is, and what prayer means to you. And it was just like, I was hanging out with everybody from, like, one guy was Shinto, one guy was, he didn't know what he was. I was a Christian, then I became a atheist, then an agnostic, then a neo-pagan, and then you just kept going down the line with these terms. It was almost like being like one of those LBGQTI, ABCDE, it was a string along, he, him, God, her, what. And the whole group was like really cerebral. Like, it's almost like they were you'd say something and then they would have to go into this like college style, like debate / intellectual, psychobabble, mental masturbation. That's what it was. It was an exercise of that. So then, of course, Jonathan from Jersey, I held back at first. I understated my position because I wanted people to just, give their ego out on the table. And finally, I had had enough. The spirit, God was like, listen, I want you to see this for a reason. I brought you here for a reason. I'm like, why? He's like, I want you to hold your tongue and I want you to know what you're up against in this world. I said, really? He says, yeah. He goes, listen from a place of compassion and listen to what they're saying. And I'll tell you what I was hearing, dude. It was like everything that was mechanical and methodical about what they thought their relationship was with not just God, but themselves in this world. And it's like the one guy was framing prayer. Like he said, he goes, well, I think prayer is a tool for people to center themselves and to almost like a meditation, like a meditative thing. But like he didn't connect it to like God in any sense, right? To any sense of source, right?
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, all right, well, yeah, that's great for a tool. There is something called meditation, right? Even the Buddhists, I think, they don't necessarily believe in the God, but they use prayer as a way to, I guess, recalibrate or something like that, right? Disconnect from the world and recalibrate with the self, whatever that means. But I'm thinking to myself, from my perspective, it's like taking a Snickers bar, unwrapping it, sticking it in a glass jar, tightening the lid, and licking the hell out of the side of the jar. It just doesn't satisfy you, at least not me. Okay? And I'm thinking, so finally I spoke up. Spirit just finally moved in me at that point, and I started like talking. And you know, the people that were somewhat connected, like kind of like really got it. The two guys that were like myself, right? Two older white guys in their 50s, because these were a younger group, right? This was like 25 to 35 maybe at this point, maybe 20, yeah. And the girl who invited me was, I think, 25. In any case, the three guys, me, this guy Gerald from France, and this other guy, his name was Jim. We were all like default Catholics. Oh shit!
Right up to the break.
Oh
news.
shit!
I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Right.
to bore everybody. Sorry.
No, you didn't. It's great.
Right. I wasn't even paying attention to the time clock. But that does bring us
I know
to
that's
the
why
end.
it snuck up on us.
No, there's a reason for this story. I'll tell you in a moment.
And we'll find out on the other side of the break. More, the entire second half of the show coming up still. Right here on the Ironworks Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. We will be right back.
Censorship and regulation is becoming an ever-growing problem in today's modern media. From the mainstream to YouTube and Google, the information you're looking for is buried by official narratives and propaganda. This is why TFR is 100% uncensored, unregulated, and listener-supported. The shows on TFR are not micromanaged by the station, and our hosts are free to speak their minds however they please. As such, the views and opinions expressed on our station are of those who make them. If you happen to hear anything offensive on TFR, please send us an email to toughtitty@tfrlive.com, and we'll be happy to tell you that we really don't give a damn. We stand for freedom of speech and non-censorship. If you also stand for free speech, you can go to tfrlive.com/signup and sign up for a TFR supporter pass and help us in our mission to keep the airwaves uncensored and unregulated. TFR Live, your uncensored and unregulated protection from deception.
The county has refused to produce the network routers. We want the routers, Sonny. The county refused to produce the network routers. Wendy, we gotta get those routers, please. Get up, routers. Come on, Kelly, we can get those routers. Those routers. Wow. If you got those routers, what that will show. And they don't want to give up the routers. They are fighting like hell. Why are these commissioners fighting not to give the routers? How simple could it be? That will tell the truth. And they don't want to give up the routers. What are they trying to hide? And I say it, and I'll say it, because the easiest way of cheating is to throw them away. That's easier. The county has refused to produce the network routers. We want the routers, Sonny. The county refused to produce the network routers. Wendy, we gotta get those routers, please. It's so unfair. It's so unfair. It's so ridiculous. I'll be honest, though. Look, we all like to win. If I lost this election, I could handle it pretty easily. What? 1 in 24, sir. You're gonna win. And I say, wait a minute. I just won 6 months ago. The big lie, they call it. Those claims are unproven. And knowing what happened in the election is a good thing, not a bad thing. It's a good thing, not a bad thing. It's a good thing. The county has refused to produce the network routers. We want the routers, Sonny. The county refused to produce the network routers. Wendy, we gotta get those routers, please. If you think about cancel, everything about cancel culture, they want cancel culture. But what they don't want to do is anything having to do with the 2020 election. We have no press. We have no voice. They almost got away with it. They may have gotten away with it. And I've got to tell you, I've got to say this. I've never said it before, but I've always thought it. I get along with Putin because that's a good thing, not a bad thing. The county has refused to produce the...
You must unite what has been citizen.
We are TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
This is Iron Mike Tyson, and you're listening to Ironworx Media.
Good morning. I'm here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe that dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard,
There is no scientific model of the earth. There is no scientific model of the earth.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Ironworx Media is the best on the plane. To the show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
And welcome back to the first half of the second half of the Ironworx, right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. We're joined by our good friend, Jonathan from Jersey. A couple of quick shout-outs. I see Thunder Chicken there in chat. Everybody check out his Dandelion Skin Cream. I saw he's been made a beautiful, beautiful batch. I saw there on Facebook. It looked absolutely gorgeous. For educational purposes, of course. Not for sale, but donations could be arranged, I'm sure. And then a quick shout out to FE Nation, who made a nice little donation to the PayPal.
Thank you, Fletch. Appreciate that, brother.
Yes, much appreciated.
Damn, Skippy. We need to get on a game some too. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has. Well, it's springtime, man. Getting the gardens
I know it's a lot going on. Me too. That's why I haven't been playing. So I've also been busy behind the scenes working on a little video. And I know we're on a radio show and all that, but it's a song, so that kind of makes it work. And I wish I could say it was me, but it's not. Our good buddy Jeremy from the I Want to Know More channel had sent in a little song. his interpretation thereof, and I assembled a little video for it. So give me a second, and I will make sure I'm sharing sound.
All right, guys, I'm going to the gym.
Oh, you heading out?
All right, brother. You have a great day, Jonathan.
You have a good day, Jonathan. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thanks for hanging
Pop
out.
in anytime.
Enjoy your time at the office.
I'll
the
finish the
creator
story next
keeps
time. I
shining.
apologize. I didn't mean to go long-winded on it, but
You did,
no
and
worries.
you're definitely welcome to finish your story right now. I wasn't trying to step on it. I got sidetracked and excited because I was trying to get the video ready to play, and so I'm the one stepping on you, my friend.
no, I'll make it really, really quick. Long story
Yeah.
short, I told the people in the group that, the way God works is like by any other convention, by age, socioeconomic, geographic location. I shouldn't have been there that night. And then the girl that invited me winds up having a grand mal seizure.
Oh, jeez.
Like I was gonna give her a ride home, and she never ride home. She lived about 25 minutes away. It was out of my way. It wasn't a group that I wanted to hang with, and I didn't like their energy. Okay, but what I was getting at with the other two guys, I'll just end it with that. These people that were supposedly her friends, nobody reacted to her when she got up and started leaving the table. I was the only one who got up, had the wherewithal to like hold on to her arm as she went down, and would have hit her head on the table or chair in the next room.
Right.
And I'm watching these idiots not react. And she knew these people since 2014. Nobody offered to take her home. Nobody wanted, it's like, so it just kind
Some people freeze, man. Some people do. People freeze. When things like that happen, there's two types of people. The people that go into action right away and start, doing. And then there's those that freeze, that just lock up and they,
Well, it just made me realize. It just made me realize who I was, and then I'll tell you one other thing. This guy heard me speaking in a clubhouse chat room, two guys and another guy on Facebook, and I've been like, I'm planting my seeds, and I'm not making money yet. Like I got this office, I was excited about it because now I'm actually able to execute and possibly make money again and get back into life. More importantly, that's what the exercise is. So yesterday I got a package. The guy sends me some books, and as I open the book, a couple $100 bills fall out, and he's like, I believe in you, brother. And then I call him up, and it's like, I got to tell you, God said people would come to my aid. He says, when you're ready, when I feel that you're truly ready, and I know you can handle things, I'm going to bequeath you or give you the resources you need to do my work. And so even showing up this thing, look, I spent $30. I never even bought myself a drink. I bought her a non-alcoholic drink, and I looked at her right before she had the seizure. I'm looking at her, and, I could tell something was off. I said, did you eat today? And she goes, no, I forgot to eat. She also forgot to take her fucking medication, I found out after.
Yeah.
So I bought her some pizza. I said, order anything you want on the menu. Basically, I was out $30 plus 20 for gas. I was kind of pissed because I don't even have that kind of money to spend. And yet here I was yielding to God and just being there because I had to be. You see what I'm saying? But I also got to observe how people think from a prayer perspective. And the conversation, like I said, I wish I had recorded the whole dialogue because it just really gave me perspective on the world, where people are at right now. And I'm not saying, look, I don't proselytize saying, like the Bible, you got to read this, you got to believe this or that. It's not that at all. It's that without reverence, without a connection to yourself or any kind of source or identity to some kind of source, what are you? What do you think? It's almost like the people that believe in the globe Earth, unsubstantiated, right? NASA becomes their religion.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes their religion because they have no connection.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, when you fill in the blanks, and I'm not talking about just when you say you get the aha moment about the flat earth. What I'm saying is when you apply God to the equation and the firmament and everything combined, then the whole fucking thing becomes crystal clear, including this whole life. When you understand the parameters, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I have troubles remembering that we're all on a path. Some of them may be even different paths, but we're not. It's hard to find somebody that is in the exact same place on that path as you. So I forget that, hey, I didn't always know what I know now. I wasn't always Zack of today, right now, this moment. And if I could speak to myself, from 10 years ago, it would be a wild conversation. I'd be speaking to a totally different person almost.
Let me ask you a question. Being who you are, being who you are, knowing yourself now, would you be able to convince that person then, only because you are you? Like if you showed up as you, would you have trusted you from the future if you had approached it that way? Or would you still have been too set in your ways or without knowledge?
I'm so happy and content with life that if I knew in my future self, I wouldn't even make contact with my past self, because I might not end up right where I am right now. Cammie and I were talking about this yesterday. We were watching some movie where Peggy Sue got married from 1986.
Oh yeah, that's a great movie.
She's at her 25-year reunion, and she passes out and wakes up in high school and realizes that even though she, because she was getting ready to go through a divorce with her husband, her high school sweetheart, so when she got back, she was all mad and angry at him in high school, but then realized that they had children together, and she misses her children, and she is miserable as she thought she was in her life. She realized that she really loved it, and she missed so much of what she had that she didn't want to change anything. She wanted it to go exactly the way that it went, so she could be where she was. And even if you're not perfectly content, and there's always going to be bumps on your path. But remember, I mean, if you could go back and change it, you might not be where you could be a totally different person.
Well, this is the thing. What if I said no? What if I looked at the situation and said, first of all, I don't drink beer, so that was a waste of my time. I'm not looking to date this girl or anything like that, or even hook up with her, so that's a waste of my time, right? I didn't want to drive up to Wayne, New Jersey, an hour away, because that's a waste of my time. And yet I went because I was invited, and something instinctively inside me, God said, I'll just say God, said, listen, I want you to go. And then when I got there, they said, hold your fucking tongue. I want you to listen instead of speak. You have plenty of platforms to speak on. And I listened, and it was like really eye-opening. But like this event happened, and at the moment, it made me realize all of us, listen, some people think they got to do big things, because the social media makes it seem like that, right? You need to look like this, and you need to earn like this, and you need to be like Tony Roberts and take this mastermind class. But guess what? You might be the most instrumental person at the exact moment when you showed up because you were told, because you did. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what minor role. It's like lighting the powder keg. What did the damage? The guy who lit it, or the powder keg itself? It's like, so when you ignite somebody's mind, or you reveal to them the flat Earth. I'm not, after that, it's their journey, right? But because you planted the seed, or you lit the fuse, you see what I'm saying? You're instrumental. But a lot of people are just too afraid to show up, or they don't think that they're going to have an effect. They're like, well, what can I do? I'm so little. I'm nobody. You're not nobody. So I don't know. I just wanted to put that message out there. When you say what kind of week I had, like on one metric, it was beautiful. On another metric, I was down to $20 total across 4 of my accounts. Venmo, Chase. I was actually under negative. And then yesterday, I get like $300 thrown in my lap by opening a book. So it's like, yeah, it's been a crazy week. But that's Jonathan from Jersey. What can I say?
I'm just gonna say it, man. Amazing things happen when you follow your feet. When your heart tells you to take a step in a certain direction and you don't know why you're doing it, but you do it anyway, it's amazing what can come out of that.
Right. And real quick, I want to hear real quick what Walt says, because I got to go pee. I'm fucking freezing. I want to go in this gym. It's like that, that morning cold in the summertime, and it's like, why is it this cold in May? Down there, it gets real cold. When I was at Fort Benning, Georgia, in the summer of like 1990, I didn't realize the mountains got so cold down in the south.
Oh yeah.
But
elevation,
Walt,
baby.
what are you gonna play, Walt? Man, I want to hear what you got. I cut you off before.
This is good
you're
stuff.
good, man. I'm excited about what's going on, dude. Every time things start happening like that, like the coincidences just keep falling one after the other. That to me is, the universe or creator or one letting you know that you're headed where you need to be headed, and you're going to be encountering the people you need to be encountering. I think that's a huge sign that things are going the right way. So yeah, that's excellent.
Let me just say one thing. The flat Earth community is going to be able to rent server space in Jonathan's head. I'm going to be like Johnny fucking mnemonic my calculations are going to be like John Nash.
Whoa.
I promise you, we're going to fucking unravel this equation. Jonathan from Jersey is for sale.
Awesome.
Oh, by the way, I have a bigger than a 60 megabyte hard drive in my head. That was a big number back when Johnny Mnemonic came out.
Right.
You look back and laugh. And by the way, they were using compression technology so they could fit more in his head, and that's why he had those migraines that are going to blow his skull out.
Yeah, that didn't hold up all that well.
By the way, really quick side note, I got to finally, I became friends through social media of all places with Dina Meyer, the one who played Diz in Starship Troopers. She was also in that movie. That woman, she's hotter than sin. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You got to see her. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. I want to hear what you got to say.
This show is fire, I want to share it with you. Josh, Walt, and Zack, Ironworx Media Crew. And I never dreamed that I'd find a show whose view match a lot of mine the way y'all do. Oh, Ironworx Media. Oh, Ironworx Media is cool. What a wicked game they play. Tell us all we've explored space. What a wicked thing they do. Tell us all we went to the moon. What a wicked game they play. A spinning ball is where we stay. What a wicked thing they do. Working hard to hide the truth. Oh, Ironworx Media. Oh, Ironworx Media spits truth. This show is fire, I'll tell you what you should do. Listen to these guys as they try to explain to you. NASA is fake and we don't live on no globe. Our leaders are puppets who just do what they're told. Oh, Ironworx Media. Oh, Ironworx Media spits truth.
Nobody should trust NASA.
Man, that was beautiful.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jeremy, so much. I've had a blast. It's been a minute, I know, but, 3 editors later, I finally got one that would do what I needed. So.
Yeah. Notch, I wish I had some pipes like that, but no.
I know, right?
It's
Dude,
not
that's
me.
a range. Chris
Yeah.
Isaac from that's a range in that song. I was like going, hell yeah. I don't think I can do it.
Jeremy. Yeah,
Yep.
I would
Thank you,
have.
Jeremy.
I would have ruined that if I would have tried to sing it. Yeah, no way. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, brother.
No, that was freaking awesome. Got me a little emotional this time. I've heard it
I know
20 times, and still that was the time it really hit me. That was crazy.
Again, all Jeremy, thank you, friend. Thank you. And we appreciate the love. You just have no clue. And all y'all, man, you don't have to send us a song or any of that. Just you guys being here rocks. So thank you so much.
Yeah, that was great. Man, I'm like speechless. I don't know what to say now.
I will definitely turn that back on for you guys on the afternoon show when it's actually a video show. I know it was a little hard to see on the radio, but I hope it sounded good. And this afternoon, I'll pop that back up and play it for our afternoon video time. So thank you, guys. I see all the great comments there in chat. Thank y'all so much. Yes, again,
video was awesome, Walter.
I appreciate it.
You couldn't see it. Come check it out tonight. Iron Realm Media, Have No Spear, 6-ish Eastern. We show up precisely when we're meant to, and no clock tells us that. So just, hit that little bell, and it'll let you know. Maybe. We'll see. Probably an hour late.
Zombie, the plan is if you would like to be on, you get on with us.
Yep.
Yes, David, there is a video of that song. I will put it up on our channel today sometime. Well, I guess I'll do it after we premiere it again tonight. Then I'll pop it up after the show. How about that? Would that be more...
yes.
Is that how we do it?
I think
is that more good. Small hat magic, David?
Andrew B. has joined the show.
What's up, Andrew?
Hey, good morning, guys. I just started catching into that song. Who wrote and sang that song?
Well, the original version is Chris Isaac. But that was our good friend Jeremy from the I Want to Know More channel doing his take on it.
Right. That's what I was asking about. Okay.
Yeah
that's good stuff.
Yeah, Jeremy needs
Definitely
to hit
great,
with
man.
Troubling Tribune. Maybe next week. I don't know Jeremy's schedule. I know I talked to Troubling Tribune the night before last, I believe. I was on his live stream, but I told him we have to get him over to our channel to just have a chat because we were talking about Jerry Marzinski and all kinds of stuff and dreams and it would just be I really like him a lot. He's just an old soul, you can tell. And I think if we could get him and Jeremy together, because I know Jeremy's been talking a lot about, these entities, these beings that people sometimes see, sometimes we feel them, we hear them, but they're not there. They're not within our spectrum of senses to always, sense them. But a lot of people have had these different experiences, and Jeremy's been delving into that a little bit. And I think those two together it'd just be an amazing show. So I'd love to get Jeremy on and Trouble and Tribune together. I think that could be the start of something awesome. Yeah, I'm going to work on that. So what do you got for us, Andrew? Well, there's about a minute. There's about a little over a minute. So
yeah, it's coming
we're throwing
up.
That out there. We're just coming up the break.
Well, Witsit had Dave on yesterday, for the Witsit Kicks It, and Dave had some sort of a pineapple conspiracy he was talking about. I didn't catch the entire thing, but if Dave is available to come on and clarify that a little more, I'd love to hear it. Kind of weird.
Good stuff.
Only pineapple conspiracy I'm aware of is swingers using it on their patio decorations and driveway decorations. It's how they spot each other.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one. It's been crazy around here, the energy and stuff. And Cammie and Jaron and I have been, after our walk, we do a little bit more. We have dinner, and then we have a movie. Usually every night we go to YouTube free movies and just pick some old quirky movie. We watch It's a Mad, 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 Mad World not too long ago even. Yeah, we're going deep, just any free movie that just whatever. So yeah, but I've been missing a lot of the live streams at night. But I'm gonna definitely go back and check that one out. Dave said he set some ground rules at the beginning of the show. I can't wait to go see. Oh, but yeah, we should be rolling up on a break here any second, folks.
Any second.
And we'll be heading into the second half of the second half. I think that's right, isn't it, Josh?
That's right.
That's how that works.
Second half of the second half, fourth and final. And I think, Nachiketa, the banana conspiracy really lies in the fact that they taste so much better if you eat them slowly, right? But with big bites, right? You have to take a big, gigantic bite, but a nice, slow bite. And then when you do it, you have to make eye contact with somebody. And it's amazing how much better a banana tastes.
There are folks that you emulate. There are folks that you idolize. There are folks that you want to be. And you ask yourself constantly, how did they get there? Why are they there? Oh, they got so famous? And you see haters, and you're sometimes a hater, and you marvel at them. But recognize, who was John Legend before John Legend? John Legend. Who was Barack before 2009? Barack, right? He was still the same person, so to speak. So understand those people that you see that are up there just made a shift in their way of thinking about themselves that elevated them to the position that you see them in. Instead of idolizing or hating on someone or wondering how did they get there, start looking at yourself and say, I can be there. I'm here, but what do I have to change to be there? So who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? What thread was sewn to design the fabric?
From the dawn of man, we have turned to nature to help attain balance within ourselves. But somewhere, we lost our way. Western culture is once again remembering the healing benefits of CBD, the non-psychoactive component of the hemp plant. That's why more and more people who use CBD report relief from inflammation and chronic pain, balanced blood sugar and cardiovascular system, relief from muscle tensions, tremors, migraines, headaches, anxiety, depression, and the list goes on. The big question is, where do you get it? IALife is a 99% pure CBD oil made with all organic ingredients, and it's available to TFR listeners worldwide. If you use coupon code TFR at checkout, you'll get $5 towards your order. Head on over to ialife.com now. That's AYA life.com.
Once in a decade, a true story comes along that remembers the future. After 6 Amazon bestsellers, I have completed the epic Birth Trilogy, a true story of Earth. By reading the Birth Trilogy, you will journey with the characters from the origin of Earth to its final destiny in a white-knuckle ride that combines the intrigue of Tom Clancy with the epic scope of Prometheus and Interstellar. You will learn more about the purpose of life, the mystery of death, and the true nature of your soul than you thought possible. The Birth Trilogy is now available on Amazon and Kindle. The audio version is a free bonus when you buy the paperback, so even if you're not a great reader, don't worry about it. I read it for you. Use the Amazon app today and buy the Birth Trilogy, spelled B-E-A-R-T-H, or search for my name. I'm Brooks Agnew.
You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
Your protection from deception. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
All right, that's all I got. Thanks very much. Welcome back. Fourth and final segment of the Ironworx kicking off now. And I really, really need to get a smaller soundboard because I just get way too caught up in this.
I love it. I love it.
And
I knew every one of those sounds, what they were from.
Oh, there he is.
What's going on, David?
All right, what's going on? So the ground rules I set with Austin yesterday, if you didn't listen, were there'll be no citing of published scientific studies from scientists that I have no idea who they are. There will be no quoting of scientists from the past, although you may use memes as long as they have less than 8 to 10 words and a nice picture. And there'll be no word salad. And what I mean by word salad is stringing together of big words to explain an important concept that I may or may not understand. And then he agreed, so we had a great conversation. So
yeah, don't they say that if you truly understand something, you could explain it to a child, right?
No, I said that because of Austin's debate with the professor guy, the astronomer guy. If you haven't seen that, it's from last week. It's 4 hours long. It literally is the next level of Austin. It was just mind blowing what that guy could recite. Mind blowing. I watched it twice. I'm like 4 hours. I watched it twice. Mind blowing. Mind blowing. So,
nice.
So the pineapple conspiracy. So first, I had a comment the other day. Someone commented, "Hey, this flat Earth is very interesting, but I'm not buying it yet because I can't figure out the speed of the sun when it's over the Tropic of Capricorn. You know, can you explain it to me briefly? Because I don't have time to look into it." Right? And that's it right there. I'm like, they have you exactly where they want you. They have you as a slave where you don't have time to do anything. What happened with COVID? Everybody got sent home from work. What happened? They started researching and they started waking up, right? So they need, slaves become crazy and rebellious if they don't have a job, right? If they don't have something to do. So it is very important to have us be these debt slaves. And, you know, like NASA is a jobs program. They have hundreds of thousands of jobs and all sorts of companies all over the place where people are doing things. You know, some of those things are slightly useful, whatever. But there's so many jobs that are nothing. Now, people love pineapples. If pineapples were $25, nobody would buy them. And then the million people that work in the pineapple industry, you know, to grow, harvest, transport, everything, pineapples, they'd be out of work.
Mm-hmm.
So where do your pineapples come from, Zach? They come mostly from Hawaii and faraway lands. So a pineapple plant only grows one pineapple. It takes 12 to 18 months to grow that pineapple. So you have to tend it, water it for over a year. Yeah, one pineapple plant grows one pineapple, and it takes over a year. Okay, so you got to tend it.
How many pineapples I eat alone a year?
So hang on there. So they got to take care of it. They got to grow it, right? They got to pesticide it. They got to do all of the stuff to it. Then they got to cut it, harvest it out. Then they got to put a colored printed label on it. Then they put it in a box, and then they put it on a truck, and they send it to a port, and they put it on a ship, and then it gets to California. Then it gets on a train or a truck, and it drives all the way across to the East Coast, and it goes to your Costco, and Costco buys it for $1.50 and sells it to you for $2.99. Okay, this doesn't work. And then the argument is, well, what, the government isn't just going to give Dole money. Yeah, they are. Dole is the government. These big corporations are the government. What's that?
Subsidies. Farmer subsidies that happen in every state in the fucking country.
Right. So that's actually the right word. Subsidies. But it doesn't matter because money is fake. For us, the government says, okay, we got to keep these, 7 million people working in the pineapple industry. We have to type in, $490 million of digits, into their bank account to make this work. Okay, there's no skin off of anyone's back. It's just fake currency, fake, energy, flow of energy, currency.
Mm-hmm.
So. And there's so many people that have jobs that absolutely are worthless. In the financial industry, these jobs
comes off of a thing. One pineapple off
one per plant. Yeah, one per plant. Takes over a year.
That's insane to think about.
Yeah, but but the people, well, you could just cut off the top of a pineapple, stick it in the ground, and grow more pineapple. Absolutely true. You can cut off a piece of a potato, and it'll grow 20 new potatoes. Okay. People don't realize this and people don't do it, but to have that, all that distance and time and energy and gas and electricity and everything, and to be able to sell it.
Yeah.
It's $3. But Costco buys it for $1.99. I mean, or $1.50. They buy it like half the price.
Yeah, I've actually got the same kind of question in that same regards of green onions. So whenever I make like twice baked mashed potatoes or whatever, I put green onions in them. Go to the store, they're $1 for a bundle. Like, how do they even afford to sell something like that for $1 at the store?
They need to keep us fed. They need to keep us, working. And think of people that are in every aspect of the pineapple industry. They're probably paycheck to paycheck. They're probably, they work their 40, 60, 80 hours a week. And then they go home and they watch some television programming and they have their sports games. So when their team wins, they have a victory. So they have a victory in their life. And then the weekend's over and they go back to work. And then, they work themselves until they're old and sick and tired and on too many pharmaceuticals. And then they retire. They get their Social Security just enough to survive and die. It's not really living.
Yep.
Nope. And I love the comparison. And you just fucking nailed it, too. It's great. I've slowly come to this conclusion that's what they mean by the military industrial complex is that it's an economy driver is all it is. Yeah, sure. I guess we end up in other people's countries and taking over sovereign nations and doing things like that in the process. But ultimately, we do it just so that we can keep driving that green machine. That the number of government subsidized jobs, government contractor jobs where we're maintaining military equipment. It's unreal the amount of tax dollars that I take up specifically, just my company. It's ridiculous.
And they have to keep pineapples in the flow because if the pineapples went away, Zack would start a rebellion, and I might join him.
Oh yeah,
because I need my pineapple.
Well, that's
So they
the
want
thing. They have to keep us, docile.
They have to keep us happy. Like hey, look, we can go get pineapples in Costco or wherever. This is amazing, right? But economically, it doesn't make any sense.
No, well, did you hear about Space Force? The news from Space Force now?
What is it?
The head of Space Force admittedly does not know what Space Force does yet.
Yeah, I saw that article.
Yeah, it doesn't know what
I
they're
saw
supposed to
something
really be doing.
where
And
somebody said that
$30 billion a year.
Somebody said in Space Force that they're cyberspace. It has nothing to do with going to outer space. It's just a division of the Air Force that deals with cyberspace.
Yeah, it's the NSA, but on a worldwide net now.
Yeah.
Instead of just acting inside the USA like the NSA supposedly does.
Right.
Now it's the NSA monitoring the whole world.
Yeah, they're the cyberspace force.
$30 billion budget with the B.
Speaking of that, as of today, since NASA's budget, just to let everyone know, since they get 24.3 or 23.4 billion a year now. So as of today, NASA has received $9,046,573,342 as of today. And for what?
What is the current budget?
Let's see, it's 25.4 billion as of this year, which is a 5.6% increase from last year. So they're getting more than inflation.
And we still aren't on our way to the moon yet, folks.
But 2030 is happening.
It's your pineapple conspiracy.
$69 million a day. Did you know on the app, if you set your countdown timer to whatever event, date, whatever you put in there, when it goes off, it'll tell you how much money NASA spent since you set the timer.
Does it say it out loud, though, for everybody to hear?
Here's the thing.
I think if I could do that. Damn it, another idea. Fuck.
Why is NASA getting more money when they're doing less? Because I think it was during Obama when they stopped sending up rockets.
Yeah, sending people to the space station does not happen from the United States except for privately by Space Force. And that's only been done, I think, a couple times. But most of them go through Kazakhstan over there. Which is, did you know, like that movie Borat, they show Kazakhstan and all the people are, living in poverty and this and that. Kazakhstan has the highest per capita per person. There's some of the wealthiest people in the world that live there in Kazakhstan per capita.
But Borat and movies and silliness.
Andrew, are you typing?
No, that's not Andrew.
No.
Is that David?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
No worries.
So, David, when you appear on a live show, you should mute up. I know you've never done it before.
I
have
forget.
No idea.
So, are you ready for Vegas, baby?
I'm very excited for Vegas. It's gonna be it's good. It's gonna be great.
31-hour drive. We are really more leaning towards driving. Well, yeah, because if we want to do a how the world works properly, and I want, glass test tubes that I have, and I have some equipment that I don't want baggage handlers handling. I just don't. And so does Cammie. A lot of stuff that Cammie has, she doesn't want them handling at all. It's fragile.
Yeah,
it can break.
Trust it to the road pirates.
Yeah, so we're just going to drive it. We're just going to load it all up, and
Vegas is going to be freaking awesome. And Karen also picked a very awesome place. Has a bowling alley, casino, hotel, and all that stuff. So I've been there several times for bowling tournaments. It's pretty cool.
We should try to get organized, hey, this Cirque du Soleil show, as many people as we can are going to go, and just let everybody know that we want to try to take over a section of one of the shows.
Yeah.
There's some great shows there.
Blue Man Group.
Which one?
I'm telling you. The Blue Man Group, man. Every time I've seen them, it was mind blowing. They're so
I've seen
great.
them in New York a half a dozen times. They're so
yeah,
good.
I've seen them a few times. They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've already put money aside for it. So anyone that is not able to attend because of finances or something like that, one of the things I was considering doing for the next trivia was maybe, I got to talk to Austin about it, maybe helping some people that can't afford it, trivia for charity kind of thing, is to help some people get there.
Wait.
Good idea. Yeah, I'm going to drop the link for information. I'm not sure if the ticket information is quite up yet. I don't know if they're available to buy yet, but I know they should be soon. I will drop the link in chat. It's flatearthfestivals.com for information about the event, the venue, all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah, Karen's been working on it this week. I know she was, we were talking about it the other day, how she was getting stuff ready on the website. Not 100% sure if it's up yet, but yeah, I'm sure it will be real soon. So go check it out, flatearthfestivals.com. And while you're at it, if you're having trouble finding that or anything else Flat Earth related, there's this app out there I've heard of. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app by Blue Water Bay. Go check it out.
Where's the easiest place to find that, Zach?
Well, you can go right to your store, your iStore, or
flatearthdave.com.
flatearthdave.com.
That's it. That's it.
But yeah, all the information Flat Earth related. If you can't find it there, then
Karen's in chat saying she'll get it up as soon as possible. She's still working on the website. So
yeah, it's a lot of work. It
And-
really is.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
yeah.
And once she has that up, it'll be under the shopping cart in the app also. I'll put it right up there in the top position.
Nice. Yeah, this is going to be
Hopefully we
awesome.
hopefully we get people from other countries to fly across the plane and come on over.
I'm hoping Mike Tyson's in town and stops by.
Get a live.
He's got Flat Earth stuff in his studio. When Graham Hancock was there, he mentioned it. Like, it's on the fourth wall, though. You can't see it when you're watching the show. But Graham
Does Mike
Hancock
Tyson have like an email address or something?
I'm not sure. I am very. There's very few people that really make me nervous. Like, if I were to go meet some celebrity or something like that, I'd treat him like a normal person. But Mike Tyson had a very big influence on my life, like as a young person, and even now, still watching the man speak, I just get almost overwhelmed with emotion just watching him get emotional. And I don't know what it is about him, but he really affects me. And I'd love to just sit down or just shake his hand and say, "Hi, Mr. Tyson. Thank you so much." Yeah, I really would. And I know he lives in that area. I'd love to see his pigeons, really. That's what I'd love. He's got like hundreds of pigeons, supposedly.
Wait. Are you saying you want to meet Neil deGrasse Tyson? Is that what I just heard?
No.
Different Tyson. Different Tyson.
Maybe. Remember that one guy in wrestling that would go around and they called it the spearing? I've had a dream where I saw someone do that. It wasn't me, but someone did that to Neil deGrasse Tyson while he was up there talking on stage. Like, the size of that Goldberg guy just came up and speared him. That's what I would do if I saw Neil deGrasse Tyson. No, just kidding. Don't do that to Neil. Don't record yourself doing that. That'd be horrible.
Don't incite violence.
That's why I said don't.
I would.
But no, yeah, Mike Tyson, just if you've never listened to his podcast, it's amazing. He has
No,
a
I
lot
have
of
to now.
guests
Yeah,
on,
I have
and man, he has some deep conversations. He really does. He's
Mike. I'm sorry. I was spacing out. I was like, I only heard Tyson. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, no, his podcast is good. I listened to a couple. They're excellent.
Yeah, for sure.
And he knows the Earth is flat.
Yeah, we need to get you on there, Dave.
I pinged them. I just never been able to get through.
No, we need.
Yeah, I don't know if
Mike on here.
his handlers and stuff, the people who produce and do all that kind of. I don't know if they would want something like that, because he does have a pretty big audience. That'd be like getting on Joe Rogan and talking about it. And I think that's why, because what was it? DeBay supposed to debate Neil deGrasse Tyson on Joe Rogan's show? Wasn't that the thing? And then they canceled it. They don't want
100 years ago.
Yeah, they don't want it to be talked about, period. And they don't want it on a platform of that size. And I get it. You know, there's a lot of money involved in the shows that these gentlemen are doing.
That's why we got to get Mike over here, don't you know?
Yeah.
Then he can say whatever he wants.
He can just say anything.
But there's a lot of closet flat earthers out there, folks. I mean, David can attest to it. We got the man right here.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot less blue dot than there are people.
If they ever wanted to come on a show that no one would know about,
well, this is the place to go.
This would be the one.
We got about 6 minutes. Do you gentlemen have anything that you'd like to share before we get out of here? Anything going on? What you got going on, David? Anything exciting in the works that you got that you can share?
Next week, Man in America. I did an interview, a 3-hour interview with him. Who is that? If you look up Man in America on YouTube, he's got a big following, and he became a flat earther 2 weeks ago when he watched one of my interviews, and he's like, I got to have this guy on.
Mm-hmm.
That's
nice.
Wow, that's nuts. I was just trying to think about people who might be open to it, and one popped into my head, and even as I was about to open my mouth, I see Israel Adams has beat me to the punch. So early on, when I dove into Flat Earth on the Twitter fun world and was meeting Josh and the early guys there for Iron Realm Media, I had a follower that I was quite shocked by. It was Roseanne Barr. I reached out to her many times trying to see if she would like to come and talk about things, because this was when she was in the big uproar of like going against all the bullshit, getting kicked off her show left and right. All that stuff was going on. And yeah, she was following me on Twitter.
This is before they even got the show rebooted. This was, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, this was way back. This was early before it came back, and then she got booted. I mean, you know, she was always in contention with things. But yeah, the fact that she was reading Flat Earth crap on Twitter was quite interesting. So yeah, reach out. You never know.
Never know.
Yeah, she got kicked off because of those cookies, right?
I don't know.
I missed it.
I've
What'd
reached
you
out
say,
to
sir?
her a couple times. No luck.
Oh, have you? No luck. Okay, well, you never know. Keep digging. You be the one.
You know, the best way I get on shows is when, you know, somebody, you know, they bring up Flat Earth, whatever, and then our army is listening. People like, you know, hey, you know, have DITRH on, have whoever on, whatever, and then people start pinging them, and then they send me the information. I'll send an email, and they're like, oh, I heard people have been calling your name.
There you
then
go.
I'm in
That's
because
perfect.
that's all the comments people put in chat and comments. It's kind of pre-programming them. It's pre-programming them.
Yeah, it's kind of like the First Amendment auditors do. We need to take that page out of their book. When you know, a municipality steps out of line and violates someone's rights, the whole community from all across the whole plane. You know, there's people all across the plane that watch these things. They all call in, send messages to any kind of message board that they can get, and they get change to happen. So yeah, if we all go to a certain place and say, hey, get David, you know, Flat Earth Dave on, and there's hundreds and hundreds of those in their messages, they're going to do it. They're just going to do it.
It works. So it's a group effort, and we all have the power now. We all, you know, with our community, the size that it's gotten, we have the power of large numbers. Now we just have to use it, you know?
Yep. We have to focus all that energy, you know, different places, different times. That may be something you could do on the app, David. We'll find somebody that's live or a live show and be like, be here at this time, blah, blah, blah. And let's tell this person to get Flat Earth Dave on their show. Just a thought. Or debate Austin Whitsitt. You know, we could do that one. Send it to all these astrophysicists and do it in public places, not directly to them, but do it in a public forum place where other people can see that these messages are taking place. Yeah. Change the world one comment at a time, folks.
Yes,
how we do it.
I really hope that the venue is going to be big enough that Karen has chosen, because I think there's going to be quite a few people showing. I'm coming with like 3 or 4 people, so
I can't believe there won't be a lot of drop-ins of just intrigued there locally in the in the area that would go like, wait, what? What? Right. People just looking to do something out of the ordinary, and that would definitely be out of most people's norm. So, hey, we're almost done, guys. We got about a minute and a half before we run out of here. I do plan on showing the video again this afternoon. I'll do it early. I won't tease y'all and make you wait so long this time. And then Zom Snoot there in chat said he could hop in if he has time. That would be great. We hadn't caught up with him in quite a while. Anyone else, you're certainly welcome to come hang out with us. We'll even talk to you again, Dave.
If you're so inclined. Absolutely.
Once I get that once I get that video up on our IRM Media channel, I'll let you know there, David, if you want to pop it into the app. That'd be awesome as hell, man. Jeremy did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing, man. And breathe, folks. Focus on your breathing.
Absolutely breathe.
Don't breathe like a baboon. Go watch The Adventures of Remo Williams. And, yeah, breathe. Big breaths, especially while you're doing, strenuous activity. It'll change your life. I'm 44 and I'm just now realizing that, hey, breathing is really, really important. Like, really important. I've been doing it my whole life, but never realized how important it was.
Just remember, oxygen is good, and tune in to the Ironworx for more medical miracles like that.
Love you guys.
Love y'all.
Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. I just can't wait to see the Flat Earth Convention on the marquee driving down the strip. Wouldn't that be badass? Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Yeah, we'll see you back here this evening for Have No Sphere. Otherwise, we'll see you back here for more of the Ironworx every Tuesday and Friday morning, 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Central on TFR, Truth Frequency Radio. Be good, be well. We love you. Bye-bye.